Hey everybody, Chris Guthrie here, and in this video we'll be covering how to get reviews for your product on Amazon. Now, if you recall from the previous video, we talked about how to get sales, and we focused on the on Amazon elements: product title, images, bullet points, and product description. And these are also crucial to help you get sales and conversions on Amazon, but we could have just as easily added in a fifth element, and that is reviews. Reviews are so important, in fact, that that's why we split it up and we've got an entirely separate module on just those. Alright, so how do you get reviews? I'm going to be going into the strategies that I'm aware of and that I know people are using, but before I do that, I want to make sure that I'm simply sharing what other sellers are doing, but it's up to you to decide which strategies you want to employ. There are white hat, gray hat, and black hat strategies. White hat being something that Amazon is totally okay with. Gray hat being where the line is a little blurry as to what is and is not allowed by Amazon because they haven't made it clear. And then black hat would be something that is definitely not allowed, and yet people are doing it. I'm not using any black hat strategies in my business. In fact, I'm very much leaning towards the white hat angle, and we'll be talking about that in the later parts of this video. And the other thing I want to point out is that you should read the Amazon review guidelines before you do anything, because you want to make sure that you know what Amazon says on the official standpoint, as these will be subject to change over time. Alright, so how do you get reviews? A few different strategies. One is friends and family. Another is email follow-up sequence. 3 is customers that purchased a similar product. I'll be showing that strategy. Paid promotional review services. Number 5, your own email list of customers and fans. And number 6, the top Amazon reviewers. So we're going to dive into all 6 of these categories. So starting with friends and family, this is the category where this would be more for you, just your initial launch. Say you've just now launched your product and you wanted to get a couple of reviews, then you could reach out to some friends and family to get them. Again, this would be more of a gray area to do this because technically, most likely your friends aren't going to give you an unbiased review. They're more likely to give you a positive review. But you can tell them, I only want an unbiased review, and then make sure that you have a high quality product and it won't be a problem. Now, if you are going to use this strategy, you want to make sure you follow up with them to ensure that they post a review, because oftentimes friends and family, and I've seen this from the people in our mastermind group, are just, for lack of a better way to put it, lazy sometimes about getting around to it because they're doing you a favor and they need to be prodded a little bit to take action. Now, number 2 is the email follow-up sequence. This is actually where the bulk of my reviews have come from, because the Amazon Review Finder, which we'll be talking about later, didn't exist until more recently, as it's the most recent tool that we've added to the AmaSuite collection. So the email follow-up sequence is actually one of the best ways you can get more reviews, because these are going to be coming from your actual buying customers on Amazon. And what you can do is you basically connect to a service like salesbacker.com, and then you send automated emails based on different events within that purchase. So say, for example, after someone has the product delivered to them, 5 days later you can send them an email and say, hey, I saw you got my product. What do you think of it? Could you leave me a review? And so that works really well. Full disclosure, I actually co-founded this service, but there's a free trial if you want to check it out for AmaSuite users. Just go to salesbacker.com and you can see. But basically, the service is where you provide 3 or 4 email sequence automatically after someone buys on Amazon. And so it's a way to provide good customer service, such as following up with them to make sure that they receive their product okay, making sure that it's working well, and then also to ask for a review politely. So let me actually share the sequence that I use and has worked really, really well for me right now. So a typical sequence might go like this. And again, this is all automated, so you don't have to handle it. So the first email might be something along the lines of, your order was shipped. Please let us know if there are any problems and we'll take care of them right away. We have a 1-year warranty to take care of you against any future problems. So it can just be a first email as a contact point and telling them that we appreciate the business and your order was shipped and it's on its way. And these feedback services actually are able to sync up with Amazon to know when an order was shipped, so the emails are sent at the correct time. Email 2 would be like saying, hey, it's been a few days since your barbecue grill brush was delivered. Please let us know what you think. Here's a link to leave us feedback. And so this could be a link to your seller feedback or a link to your product review page for the product. And then you can go on to say, we're here to make sure you're taken care of. if there are any issues at all, please let us know, because you want to make sure that you're conveying to people that you're here for them and you want to make sure that they enjoy the product. And if there's any problems at all, you're going to take care of them. Oftentimes, this is a good way to be able to avoid bad feedback, because people are going to see the emails coming in from you, and they might reach out to you first before going and posting a negative review on Amazon. And then finally, email 3. This is the last email you receive from us. So again, you might say that line because you want people to know that you're not going to be sending them too many emails, and you're just following up to ensure everything is going well. If you have a few moments, leave us a review. We'd really appreciate it. If you ever have any issues with the product, please reply to this email and we'll handle it immediately. So this is a typical email sequence. This isn't exactly what I use, but that's roughly the messaging that goes across. And it really is that simple. An email follow-up sequence works wonders for driving reviews, of course, if you're getting sales. So you can see these reviews over time as you get more and more sales. And that's another reason too why you can just try and drive more volume initially, perhaps at a lower price point, just to get these reviews going initially. Another thing you can do to provide more value and add additional customer service to the people that buy your products on Amazon is actually include a bonus PDF when people purchase this. You might have seen this when you've been out looking for different products to sell. Other listings have this where they're saying, some type of an ebook or a guide that they're giving away for free. And typically this is done as a PDF. And this is actually something you can automatically include in your emails that you send to customers if you're using SalesBacker. So that's something else to consider. And then finally, I just wanted to mention one other thing too. SalesBacker can also help you monitor your feedback. So if you want to make sure that you're getting positive feedback and that the negative feedback that you do get, you can get on top of really quickly and either address by having Amazon throw out because it's not relevant feedback, or by making sure you can respond to those customer complaints and have their issues resolved so they can potentially change their feedback, then using this service will help you automatically be notified of these 3-star and below feedbacks, for example. There's more than that and new stuff being added all the time, so you can check out salesbacker.com for more information. But I do want to mention that there's actually a special access link next to this video. So even if you aren't selling yet, it's not going to cost you any money to get going. It's only after you start sending a lot of emails, which is a good thing because that means you're selling a lot of products, that there's actually any charge. And of course, the more you send, that means you're getting more and more reviews, which in turn help you get more and more sales. So this type of service is really helpful for you because you know that every email you send is a potential review for your products, which can then in turn help you get more and more sales. So even if you aren't selling, go and make sure you set up an account and make sure you use the special access link next to this video. So check that out, and let's go ahead and continue on talking about the other ways to get reviews. Number 3, customers that purchased a similar product. So this is where you'd be looking at products that were being sold within your space. So say it's a barbecue grill brush, and customers who bought this barbecue grill brush also bought these items. So you'd be able to look at these items and then look at the people that reviewed those items. And normally, this is actually a manual process. You'd have to go look at the reviews, look at the person, and then look to see if they have an email listed. And it would actually be quite a pain for you to actually do this. Fortunately, we've built in this functionality to our Amazon Review Finder. Here is a Weber grill brush, and so what you can do actually is pull that into the software and then look at all the people that reviewed that product. So let me actually show you how that works right now in the Amazon Review Finder. All right, so I've already checked the tab of products, and this is where you can go ahead and click Extract from Products. And here you paste in the link to the product on Amazon.com. So here it is already there. Click Go, and this is going to be going out and finding the people that have written reviews. Now, I actually only selected 5 reviewers, but you can select as many as you like. I just want to show that just so you can see how the service works, but if you want to select all, you can do that. Now, you can see sometimes people don't have an email or a website listed, but sometimes they do. Remember, too, these are people that might not really review products very frequently. You can look at this review rank as 1,291,716. So sometimes people aren't going to have that. But if you look at enough products, you're going to find quite a few number of emails. And especially if someone is saying that they are looking for a product like yours in their review, because you can go ahead and look to see what the review was when you click their profile, then you can reach out to them and say, hey, I saw your comment and I'd like to offer you a free product. I'd really appreciate it if you can leave an unbiased review. And that's how you can do that. So that's a great way to be able to reach out to these people. So of course you can add multiple different products in here and then run this software all at once. And then you can step away from your computer and come back and then filter by email. And of course you can also filter by interests and everything else. And another great feature too is it also shows you the last 10 products that they reviewed, the average of those products. So you can reach out to people that have higher reviews than people that have lower reviews. So this is a very, very handy piece of software and something that I wish I had when I first started selling, and I'm glad that I have now. And you now have as well. So let me get back to the presentation though, and we'll be getting back to this tool later in the video. Number 4 are the paid promotional review services. Now, this kind of covers a wide gamut. There are a variety of different services that offer services where basically you would post your product and then people will contact you in exchange for a review. And quite frankly, I don't really know what Amazon's opinion is on these services. Other than that, I know it's a gray area and it could lean towards a black hat type area where it's not something that Amazon allows, but they just simply haven't done anything about it yet. So for that reason, I don't really recommend using these. But because I'm trying to share everything that I know that people use primarily for getting reviews, I wanted to make sure I mentioned it. But the one primary reason too why I wouldn't recommend using these is that there's a huge review footprint. So the people that are on these services, the users that is, that are getting these free products and writing reviews, if they're out there writing reviews for every single product that they see on these services, then if Amazon looks at these reviews and see that all these people are writing these reviews and they all come from this specific review service, then it'd be very easy for them to simply flick a switch and shut off all of those reviews that you've spent all that time getting, when you could have just been getting them legitimately and in an easier way than doing it like this. So for those reasons, I don't really recommend using these services, but if you wanted to use them, you can go ahead and Google them and find them. But I just don't want to send them any business when it's not something I really recommend or endorse for you to use. All right, so moving on. Number 5 is your own email list of customers and fans. Now, this is going to be more difficult, of course, once you first start out, but as you grow, you can start to grow this. So you basically going to actively engage in social media to help get your fans to go to your email newsletter. So if you have a Facebook fan page, Twitter, Pinterest, all those things, and you can offer incentives for people to join your email newsletter, that's a great way to get your list built for your business. And again, building an email list, I've found in my own businesses over the last half decade of running them has been the single most profitable thing I've ever done to grow a business. An email list is absolutely huge, and it's something that you should do as you grow this. Now, it's not the thing that you want to do initially. At first you want to focus on just getting your product up and selling on Amazon. Don't worry about building an email list ahead of time. But once you're up and selling, then you can focus on this email list process. So again, offer incentives to join, for example, a $10 off promo code, and then you can also use this email list that you build to help launch new products to your email list as well. So a follow-up sequence that you could have when people sign up to your email list. And again, an email list provider might be someone like aweber.com or mailchimp.com. Any of those two providers. I use Aweber myself. And you can go to pleasetry.aweber.com to get a $1 trial. But any of those providers allow you to do this, a follow-up sequence. So the first thing that could be is send an exclusive promo code as a thank you for joining. So this could be where you say, hey, thanks, here's the $10 promo code that I offered you as an appreciation for joining. The next thing you could do is ask your existing customers and fans to leave a review of the product that they had purchased if they haven't already yet. So again, this is just another way to try and engage these fans that are more active, because again, if they've taken the action of joining your email list, they're more likely to do something like this versus people that are just regular buyers on Amazon. And then number 3, let them know about your latest product. And then again, you can offer them an exclusive promo code. So this would be going back to the earlier strategy of when you launch other products, you can say, hey, here's our latest product in the follow-up sequence, and you can offer them an exclusive promo code on that as well. So there's a lot of different things you can do as you grow and you add more products to your business. And this is one way that you can do that, though. Even as you first start with one product, you can do a follow-up sequence like this. And then number 6, top Amazon reviewers. Now again, this is where we can use the Amazon Review Finder tool. So let's go ahead and dive into that right now and show you how it works. Alright, so I already showed you the products tab where you could go through and look at all the reviews for a specific product and then be able to look at those people that reviewed those products and potentially contact them to get a review of your product as well. But another feature of this tool is to use the Amazon top ranked feature. So let me go ahead and clear this data. And what this will do is it will pull on Amazon.com the top 10,000 reviewers that are rated on Amazon. Now, these people on Amazon are typically listing an email address or some type of a contact form because they know that they get a bunch of free stuff basically when they have their contact information on their page and when they're in the top ranking. So I'm actually just going to pull the top 2 pages here though, and I'll click the button here. So what this does is as it's running, it's going out and grabbing these people's names, the number of reviews, their helpful votes, their email, which will be extracted here in a bit, and then the other information. So once you get this done though, you click this other button, extract more data, and here's where it goes and actually goes out and grabs the email address. So you can see this very first person has an email address, second person has an email, third has an email, the fourth doesn't, but if you go to that profile you might find some more information on them. And so you can see a lot of these different types of reviews coming in here. And you can also notice too that the email addresses they're using, Mandy Reviews, Top Reviewer, Amazon Reviews, you can kind of tell that they know that people are going to be contacting them. So make sure you do look at their profile though, right? Because the last thing you want to do is just contact them without really knowing what it is they're interested in, and also some of the things that they might say about what they're interested in reviewing. Now, fortunately, we have built a feature into the software that makes that easier for you to be able to search for right here within the software. Now, let me actually show you that too. So, if, for example, you're going after a photography product, you could go ahead and type in photography, and it would go ahead and look at the interests tab, and this actually looks for anything in here, and it will look to see what people are interested in that. So if you were doing a photography product, you could then know that these people here will be good people to potentially contact about it. So this makes this process of getting a review much, much easier. Now the thing to keep in mind as well is that the way that these reviewers work is that you send them a product for free. They have no obligation to give you a review, but for the most part they do provide a lot of reviews, as you can see here. So they have no obligation, and then of course they also aren't going to be swayed by you paying them money or offering them any type of gift card or anything like that for a favorable review. So this just serves to further reinforce what I've been saying all along here, is that you want to have a genuinely good product before you actually contact people like this, because otherwise you're not really going to want to use a strategy like this. You're going to want to look at some other ones you can do that I shared earlier. But you basically just reach out to these people and say, hey, I have this product, would you be interested in reviewing it? And you can go back and forth with them and they'll provide you some information, and you send it, and of course be very polite to them and make sure you know, so they're regular people just like you and I, and of course they just happen to be really interested in writing reviews of products. I'm not sure particularly why they like it other than maybe getting the free stuff, but just keep in mind that they don't work for you and that they're just doing this because they like to do it. So look at their profiles, you can read their interests and everything here, you can expand that out and look at it in further detail. And of course you can also then extract all this information. You can run the entire list at once and then go back and run through it all as well. I just wanted to run a few pages of data so you could see exactly how it works though. Pretty sweet tool. Again, if I had this before I started selling, I would have used it. This is very, very valuable. This tool alone is worth more than the cost of the program that we've sold for AmaSuite, and as well as all the other tools. So you've got a great deal here with AmaSuite, and this is another great tool for you to get reviews for the product you're selling on Amazon. Now let me go ahead and get back into the presentation as we close this out. So to recap, there's a variety of different ways to get reviews. I covered the primary methods to get reviews, the ones that are going to get you the most reviews. First one, starting out as an initial type strategy of getting some reviews from your friends and family for your first part. Then using an email follow-up sequence so that you can get all the people that purchase your product to see emails and then be able to ask for a review and then also provide good customer service. Third, being able to offer customers that purchased a similar product, reaching out to them through the Amazon Review Finder tool. Fourth, paid promotional review services. I talked about why I don't really recommend using these, and that I sort of indicated you should just Google them if you're really interested, because I don't want to send them any extra business. Number 5, your own email list of customers and fans. This is a big one as you grow, but it's not something you need initially. And then finally, the top Amazon reviewers. Again, make sure you know that these people get a lot of solicitations for reviews, and you want to make sure that you're polite and that you also contact people that are actually interested in what you have to offer. Note that they will not be swayed by any type of monetary compensation, and you shouldn't offer that because that would be against Amazon's review service review guidelines. What we're doing is simply making a tool that helps it a lot easier to reach out to these people to get reviews of products. So hopefully you enjoyed this module on getting reviews, and we'll see you in the next one after this.